He leaned in so close that she could feel his breath tremble against her ear, but nothing prepared Lily for the words that slipped from the millionaire doctor's lips at that exact moment. Standing at the center of a crowded hospital charity gala, surrounded by flashing lights, murmuring voices, and the weight of her own collapsing world, she heard him whisper the impossible. "Pretend to be my wife, just for tonight." Her heart froze mid-beat, her mind spinning as though someone had pulled the ground from beneath her. She wasn't his girlfriend, not his friend, not even someone who belonged in this glittering world of silk gowns and polished chandeliers, so why her? If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of unexpected miracles, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. It helps us bring more life-changing stories to you. Lily had come to the gala only because she worked as a part-time florist for the event company decorating the ballroom. Her dress was borrowed, her heels slightly loose, and her confidence almost non-existent. She had spent the past year trying to rebuild her life after losing her mother to illness and drowning in medical debt that threatened to swallow her. She felt like an outsider watching a world she didn't belong to, a world where people like Dr. Adrian Hale, the hospital's brilliant and impossibly composed trauma surgeon, moved with effortless grace and certainty. Adrian Hale was a figure everyone noticed. Tall, calm, and sharp-eyed, he carried the weight of 100 tragedies on his shoulders yet somehow remained unbroken. But tonight, for the first time, there was something different in his expression, something urgent and quietly desperate. When he approached Lily and whispered that impossible request, she had no idea she was about to step into a storm that had been building around him for years. She hesitated, her wide blue eyes meeting his steady ones. Behind him, she saw a group of stern-faced board members watching him closely, whispering among themselves. Adrian followed her gaze and sighed as if the walls were pressing inward. Then, in a low voice only she could hear, he told her the truth. His hospital funding, his position, even the pediatric wing named after his late sister, all of it was in jeopardy because the board believed he was too cold, too detached, too focused on medicine and not enough on building a stable, societal image. In their eyes, a devoted family man would be a symbol of trust. His fate rested on a lie he never wished to tell. But there was more. Adrian revealed the one condition that turned Lily's breath shallow. If she agreed, she couldn't tell anyone, not even her closest friend, and for the next 6 months, she would have to live part-time in his world, appearing at key events by his side. The board needed proof of authenticity, and Adrian needed someone who did not crave his money or status, someone genuine. Lily felt her pulse hammering. 6 months of pretending to be the wife of a man whose life was nothing like hers. 6 months surrounded by wealth she had never imagined. 6 months holding a secret heavy enough to crush her if she slipped even once. Before she could overthink it, Adrian gently added that he would ensure her mother's remaining medical bills were cleared and arrange stable work opportunities for her afterward. Not charity, repayment. He knew who she was. He had seen her at the hospital countless times. He remembered how she sat quietly in the corridor every night during her mother's treatment, never complaining, always kind to the staff despite her grief. He chose her because she had something money could never buy, authenticity and heart. With the weight of her past pulling one way and the possibility of hope tugging the other, Lily nodded softly. The moment she did, Adrian wrapped one protective arm around her, guiding her toward the gathering crowd with a confidence she wished she could borrow. And just like that, her life shifted from the dim corners of survival to the blinding light of a world she was afraid to touch. The board members welcomed her with measured politeness, their eyes scanning for flaws. Lily's nervousness was almost visible, but Adrian's steady presence anchored her. Throughout the evening, she learned details about his life that the world admired yet misunderstood, the sleepless nights after losing his sister, the vow he made over her hospital bed to save as many lives as he could, the loneliness of being seen as perfect but feeling profoundly human. For every secret she learned about him, he unknowingly uncovered something about her, her resilience, quiet strength, and ability to care deeply even when life had been endlessly unkind. As the evening went on, people began whispering how peaceful and grounded Adrian looked with her beside him, as if she softened something long hidden behind his guarded eyes. But Lily, despite her growing comfort, never forgot the sharp edge of reality. This was temporary, a fragile illusion built on necessity and trust. Still, beneath the surface of pretending, something genuine flickered, a warmth she couldn't name and he couldn't hide. Days turned into weeks, and their act slowly wove itself into her daily life. They practiced backstories, memorized details only true couples would know, and attended meetings where Lily felt her anxiety melt every time Adrian subtly squeezed her hand. He became her safe place in a world that had offered her none, and she became the one person who saw him not as a savior but as a man carrying silent wounds. But every secret has a price. The more convincing they became, the more Lily feared the day everything would end. Because somewhere between pretending and surviving, she realized she was beginning to feel something she had promised herself she never would, something too dangerous for someone like her in a world like his. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Everyday Heroes. Your support keeps these stories alive. Before the ending, tell us in the comments, do you believe love can begin with a lie if the hearts are honest? And that was the night Lily agreed to pretend to be the wife of a man who didn't need saving, but whose heart had already started choosing her long before she realized it.